Hey there, welcome to the LSAT Demon Daily Podcast. My name is Ryan Van Duzen. I'm a teacher with the LSAT Demon. I'm joined by two of my fantastic coworkers, Kaley and Brandon. Kaley, do you want to quick introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey guys, happy to be here. Also a teacher with the LSAT Demon, as Ryan said. I teach lunch break LR every day at 12 o'clock Eastern, every weekday, that is.
Hey, yeah, and I'm Brandon. I teach Demon Foundations on Sunday evenings. It's a intro class for anybody who's trying to get some strong foundational skills and start their LSAT journey.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Today we have an email from a listener named Megan. Brandon, do you want to read that email for us?
Sure. Hello. I recently decided to pursue the LSAT and scored a 167 on a diagnostic test. While taking it, I paid very little mind to timing and finished each section with some time remaining, 1 to 2 minutes for LR, 5 minutes for RC. Although I was happy with this score, I worried that without a more intentional approach to timing, I won't allocate appropriate time to the more difficult questions. Is there a specific approach to timing that I should adopt, or am I better off sticking to the tempo that comes naturally to me? Thank you. Thanks so much, Megan. Okay, get a lot of questions about timing. What do y'all think? Kaley, what do you usually tell your students about timing?
I say do not look at the clock. This is something that I get questions on probably every other class by different students. And my advice always is just don't look at the clock. To me and to everybody that I've talked to in my own studying and other students studying, the more you pay attention to anything besides the test, the less you're focused on the test. And when you're looking at the test, the only thing you want to be thinking about is the exact question in front of you, not the question before, not 5 questions that are going to happen after, not what you had for breakfast, certainly not where you're at on the clock. I think always I like to turn it off, even on the official test, and that way I can focus exactly on what's in front of me.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Did you turn off the clock on your official test?
So I actually didn't, I just didn't look at it. I don't know. I think it was a lot of practice of not looking at the clock and turning it off. I just somehow didn't look at it. So I didn't turn it off.
I didn't know I could turn it off on my first official test, and I actually had a bit of a timing anxiety attack when I was getting to the end of LR. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna have time to finish and that kind of thing. And I realized after that it was an option to turn off, and I started practicing like that and went with that, and I noticed a huge difference. I didn't worry about timing as much. I didn't think about it on my official tests. How did y'all approach it? How was it for you, Ryan?
Pre-LSAT Demon, I was very focused on trying to finish questions within a certain time frame. For an easy question, I wanted to finish it in less than a minute and a half. For a harder question, I'd give myself 2.5 minutes or something like that. Once I started studying with the Demon, I realized just how counterproductive that approach actually was. So on my official tests, I had the clock running. I just didn't really look at it. I didn't really look at it as a factor, partially because I had become so accurate that I was able to eliminate bad answers really quickly up front, and that actually helped me speed up a lot on the tests. So time became less of a factor over time. And I suspect that for our listener, Megan here, that's what's going to happen to her. I mean, especially if you can start with a diagnostic of 167, I mean, that's fantastic. That just proves that you have the ability to get every single question on this test right as long as you're applying yourself to it correctly. So give yourself the time to get these questions right and don't worry about the clock.
I totally agree. When I remember when I first started studying, I had a goal of reading every reading comp passage in 3 minutes. And I would time myself and try and get it done because I was like, I won't have enough time to finish these questions if I can't read the passage quickly. But of course, over time and with the Demon, I totally learned that that's backwards, right? We want to spend so much more time upfront in the passage, not worried about how much time we're spending. We want to be worried about how much we're understanding. And then, like you were saying, Ryan, that time will follow as you get better at understanding because you'll understand things quicker and it just naturally follows. So don't ever put, a time on yourself. How much time do I have to answer this question? Worry about answering the question and answering it correctly, and the rest will follow.
Definitely. Yeah, Megan, I think starting at a 167, I if I was you, I wouldn't settle for less than 175 plus. I mean, you're starting so high, and to get to 175 plus, you want to be trying to get every single question right, which you can do. And so that should be your focus, not how long am I spending. It should be, did I get this question right? And I think given that you're just starting here, as you practice some more easy questions and get used to their patterns and the way they're worded and that kind of thing, you're going to end up saving so much time on those easy questions once you get more used to the formatting and that it's just naturally you're going to kill it. Just do some more practice, focus on getting every single question right, and you'll get there.
Yeah, and Megan actually had sort of the opposite problem of what a lot of people at least think that they have. Most people feel like they don't have enough time to finish the section. And in Megan's email, she actually said that she finished with extra time on these sections, but she still got a few questions wrong. So I think the big thing for Megan is asking herself, how could I use this time more efficiently? And I went ahead and went to lsatdemon.com/converter. It's our score converter. You can look at any test that's available and see what, if you were to get certain combinations of scores on sections, what your ultimate score would be. So I did the three most recent tests, test 158, 157, and 156. On each of them, if she had gotten 4 wrong on each section, respectively, she would have had a 166, a 167, and a 167. But if you drop that to just 3 wrong in each section, the scores go up to a 169, a 170, and a 169 again. And I think that this just goes to show that you only get paid for the questions you get right. So if you're going to get, if at your current skill level, you're getting 4 questions wrong on a section roughly, you could take the time that you're spending on those questions and just abandon them. And then as long as you get 1 more question right, because you're devoting yourself fully to that question, you can see your score go up. And then as you keep getting more and more accurate, and as you keep on killing the test faster and faster, what you're going to see is that accuracy stays high, but over time you start getting faster and faster, and you're able to finish more questions of the section each time.
Totally.
Definitely.
I think the other thing that I also noticed in Megan's email was that she said, should I be allocating more time for those more difficult questions at the end? What do you guys think about that?
I'd say 2 things. I'd say one, like we keep saying, you just, as you get more practice with the easy ones, which once again, you've barely even started looking at the questions, right? As you do the easy ones more, you're naturally going to get faster at them. And you're naturally going to get more time at the end and not have to worry about it. And 2, like I said, I mean, Megan, you just want to be getting every single question right. So you need to be focusing on however long it takes you. I would just, before you move on from a question, I would be confident, yes, I picked the right answer. That's the kind of mindset I want you to be in. Not moving on from a question until, yes, that is 100% correct. And just stay focused on that and keep drilling that and practicing that, and it'll work for you.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you just said, Brandon. The best way to budget time for more difficult questions later on in the section is by killing the easy questions early on in the section. The faster you get those done, as long as you're getting them right, the more flexibility you have built in at the end of the section, so that you don't have to feel pressure to finish each question in a certain amount of time late in the section. You can devote yourself completely to understanding the passage, making a strong prediction, and getting it right.
I totally agree. I just thought of a class that I was watching that Chris did on, he leads his, the last passage reading comp classes. And he, spends 45 minutes going through this reading comp passage and then sends students off to do the reading comp passage on their own. And he also does it while they're doing it. And after one specific class, the one that I was watching, he came back and said, I just finished all those questions in 90 seconds and I got every one of them right. And I think that's where we want to be time-wise. I'm not saying, have to finish all the questions in 90 seconds, but what I am saying is spend your time up front on those passages, spend your time on the arguments in LR, and then like you guys have been saying, the rest just follows. Once you really understand it, you don't have to worry about timing because you'll know the answer as soon as you see it. And you don't have to reason it in your mind. You don't have to try and fit it in the puzzle to get it to work. It just will come because you know what you're doing and you know what you read.
Yeah, Megan, the sky is really the limit for you. With a diagnostic like that, I mean, you should be really aiming right now for accuracy over anything. And as long as you keep practicing, as long as you keep studying, working hard, I know you're going to kill it. We have complete confidence in you. So good luck on the rest of your studies, and let us know if you have any other questions. Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thank you all for listening.